Good evening, everyone. This is the HammerFist podcast here at MMA Fight Pass. You're thinking, man, it's Friday or is it Wednesday? Or I'm confused. No, it is TGIF, but we're going to do something a little bit different just today, and it's going to be, I believe it's the third week of every week. We're going to have our panel here, and some other people will actually be in here as well as time goes on, or we'll have callers in. But what we want to do is we want to review. I'll throw out some topics, and then we're going to chop it up. What we like to see. First of all, our opinion as a fan, and then we'll give it kind of like an analysis of what we think we see behind the scenes at a different view. So hold on for a bit, get something to drink, something hot to eat, and something cold to drink. We're going to be here for an hour. I got my partner in crime, the Anaconda, Tom Owens, and we got James. Those of you have seen James at the fight, and if you don't know who James is, you must be under a rock. And I guarantee you, if those that under a rock, they probably go to Comic-Con, so you've probably seen James there.
All about that Comic-Con.
Yep. Yeah,
Can't help it. I love it.
Yeah, this guy, between those two, if you didn't see him, I don't know, maybe you guys are an avatar or something, I don't know. But anyway, no, James has been an analyst for a while. I had the pleasure of knowing him for quite some time, and basically seeing him everywhere too. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Keeping busy?
Always.
Right on, right on. Oh, also, he's got the mainstream connection here in the Valley. A lot of times you guys will look at 24 in the morning, and you'll see fights when Bellator's in town, or periodically maybe Tachi or another promotion. This is the man that a lot of times make that happen. And James is our guy here, so we got dibs on him first. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off. First off, I want to shout out to Spike and Rail here in Selma for giving us this nice place, nice facility. And if you come inside, you can watch us live here, or just come to grab something to eat. It's Friday. You probably got your check cash. Maybe you're cruising by there right now. Stop in and mention MMA Fight Pass, and they'll give you 15% off the menu, except for drinks. Oh, including or no?
Yeah, including soft drinks and no beer.
Oh, okay. And anyways, including soft drinks, I just was told. So anyways, we're going to get this show rolling, and we're going to start off with some of the professional promotions. I mean, obviously UFC, Bellator, Combates America, and boxing, Golden Boys getting involved in MMA, the PFL, which is former, what was that, World Series of Fighting.
Yeah.
And
I was
then,
watching that PFL last night. Pretty good.
Yeah, they had the second edition last night, huh?
So what is the deal with that? Is that the same promoter from?
Yeah,
World
you
Series?
see Ray Zeffo there at ringside, him, and then I don't know who else partnered in it. I didn't do any research on it. That's terrible, but
They got a bunch of fighters in there though that some veterans a lot of people don't know about. Like I seen Bushkape, remember him from Pride?
yeah, there's some guys in there that I've seen. A lot of Russian fighters coming up that are getting on that mainstream. And what it is, I think they have all the divisions. I don't know if they're doing like catchweight divisions too, but they're doing all the divisions. And then I guess there's $1 million purse. Is it per division or the
Is it
overall?
a team? Is it teams that they're doing? I didn't quite understand the format.
Yeah, I know. I was reading part of it and stuff like that, and then I got distracted in something else. But I'll make a promise to follow up on all that stuff too. But just these fights are all action. It's
Yeah,
like
they're
these
good.
guys'
They're good.
mindset is to take them out in the first round. A lot of them don't want to go the second round.
They want to save their body.
Have
It
you-
sounds
Yeah.
almost like a tournament format. if
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
it like
yeah.
that.
Kind of, have you had a chance to see any of it?
Unfortunately, I have not.
They're on an NBC network, NBC SN or something like
Yeah,
that.
one of those. I was just flicking through the channels and came across it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was good.
watched it yesterday. I watched because they do have a live feed on Facebook, and then for the undercards, and then they go, the main card they go on television. So it's pretty awesome. But I like the quality. It's kind of like the World Series of Fighting. They always had good production, good quality. I mean, some of these,
Solid fight cards.
you go
too.
on
Yeah.
let's say MAP TV. I hate to say that because I have good friends that are involved with that, and it's kind of distorted. You know, the quality of the
Yeah.
picture. You go into that NBC Stage Sports Network, and man, it's awesome. It's like you're right there, and they got some. Like Eve Edwards, Boss Rutan commentary.
Yeah,
You know, so you
they
got
had
some-
Randy Couture and Boss Rutan. I
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty
That's a
awesome,
combo.
dude. I mean, you got some legends out there doing the thing. So
You could see
it's
Randy
good.
Couture licking his lips, licking his chops, watching those fights.
Oh, I thought about the ring guard girls. Those aren't
Could
too
be
bad
that
either.
too.
That's,
Maybe that's what he's licking his lips at.
I don't know. But
Hey,
covering,
it's good seeing those guys doing
covering
that
stuff
job.
like that. What do you think, like the direction the UFC's going, man? I mean, every week it's something else with these
Yeah,
guys, and usually it's some kind of negativity, man, going on.
A lot of people, there's a lot of haters on him, of course, for sure. Everybody's, they want more of this, they want more of that. But I think the sport is growing. It's growing great. You know what I mean? They're on
It is.
ESPN. I enjoy it. I turn on the TV every weekend and I can see some sort of fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
it
just
is.
UFC, but Bellator and all of them. Remember back in the day, like we'd have to wait.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
you were
mean?
looking like going,
Remember that?
You get a pay-per-view. I remember
And
that
you'd
growing
be-
up.
That's one thing though, because man, like those fight cards like Pride and UFC 2 back then, like you would really be looking forward to one of
Yeah,
those
oh, yeah.
cards coming. You'd be
They-
licking
they
your
could
chops,
build
man.
them.
Yeah.
They would slow build them.
And
now
you would wait.
Now they're thinking, they're thinking a few fight cards ahead, but
Yeah.
they have so many fights so often, it almost feels like oversaturation.
Yeah, it can be.
Especially
And,
because they don't just have the pay-per-views; they have the fights for free on Fox. They have the fights
Then the
here
fight
and there,
night,
and yeah,
fight
and all
pass.
that stuff. So it's like, you guys need to kind of slow your roll a little bit.
you think it would be good for them to go back to less shows?
Not to an extent, yes, but not necessarily once every other month like it used to be. So you're only running 6 shows.
Yeah.
But maybe once a month.
A pay-per-view once a month?
Exactly.
And then a free one, maybe throw a free one in there.
I mean,
I like those free ones.
Maybe every 3 months you throw a free one in because their roster is so extensive now.
Yeah, it's
But-
crazy.
So they can hire and fire guys on a whim. Like was it Mike Jackson who just had a poor performance, even though he won his fight.
Right.
He didn't do what he could have done, and so Dana White still was like, "Adios."
We could have took in any one of these 559 locals and threw them in there, and they would have destroyed
And-
either one of those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had Art in here the other day. Art would have just ran right through either one of those boys like butter. You know.
It is. It's getting crazy now with the UFC signing a new contract with ESPN, and then NBC. What do you think about that? It's going to be on network TV, and then obviously ESPN, the big #1 sports deal. You think it's going to be kind of a format like how they do their Friday night boxing type thing?
As it pertains to that, I think it's great, but we've already seen MMA on mainstream network television. Look at Strikeforce when it was on CBS.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but a lot of mainstream at that time was pretty much against it because they felt it was too violent. And although most perceptions have changed, those perceptions are still out there.
Yeah, they are. And then the way the world is, people aren't holding back like they used to before. Now they're
That's
just
true.
telling
Now
you what
just
it's like.
straight- yeah.
So as far as advertising, that could be it could be a plus in which what they want to happen, because obviously people are going to want that time. But then again, everybody's so politically correct and violence, even though that's all we see on TV.
You think the fan base has grown for MMA in total?
I think there are more generic fans out there than there ever have been. You have fans that know who GSP is, who know who John Jones is.
The Leprechaun or
They know specific fighters. They don't know necessarily the guys that are coming up through the ranks. They just know the top stars.
I think that's a
because
big
who's
problem too
promoted really
right now.
well.
Well, it's not a problem, but there's just so many of these new fighters that have a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but just the average person out there doesn't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows John Jones, Brock Lesnar, McGregor, just like you just said. But what do you think about the Golden Boy promotion? What's going to happen with that?
There's obviously a lot of money behind it, but again, they were part of that affliction deal when they had.
You think it's just going to be a one-hitter?
I don't know. I mean, from the past, what they did, I think they had like 2 fights, and then basically the purses were so high, they're, funneling out a lot of money for these big stars, and they had 2
Yeah,
events.
how do you continue with that,
You know,
doing that,
and that
huh?
was it.
Those affliction cards were awesome. Though.
They were,
Yeah,
they were.
stacked.
It was kind of like, almost like a pride
top
card.
to bottom.
Yeah.
I actually went to the fight between Fedor and
Oh, the
Arlovsky,
last one that they
Yeah.
had.
and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, they put a
I
good show.
absolutely loved it.
The crowd
And
was
then
pumped,
I
too.
bought tickets to see Fedor fight Barnett, and then they folded.
Mm.
I still have the tickets for that fight, but of course never saw a fight because
It's a collectible.
the promotion folded. But if they would have continued, they would have had to, I believe, just lessen how many top stars they had. Just have a few top stars,
Lower the paychecks.
and have
That's what they got to do. They got
building
to be able
fighters
to
for that promotion.
plan all that stuff, and then have a little bit more tight on the finances. And they could do it. I mean, he puts on elite boxing match, makes millions of dollars.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing there.
McGregor deal. So, I mean, that it's nothing new to them. It's just learning the scope of the MMA world. And how
Have
it
you
works.
guys heard any more about the Chuck Liddell fighting Tito Ortiz on that? Was that just a little talk to get people's eyes on it?
For right now, until they sign something, it's almost like Pacquiao versus Mayweather, how long that took to get something going. I feel like that's the same type of deal for MMA hardcore fans with Chuck Liddell fighting Tito Ortiz.
Who else have they signed on there? Anybody ever heard of
Well,
anything?
the rumor today, I don't know if it's a rumor right now as we speak, but Lyoto Machida is going to Bellator.
He just got signed for Bellator.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Are you excited for that, or not really?
I mean, he's had a great showing.
I
in
mean,
his
they're
last
gay,
Yeah, but he
fight,
just had a great front
but
kick knockout, didn't he?
Yeah, same thing.
Let's see who they match him against first before we. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever.
I have a feeling that Bellator might do pretty well this year. I think they are going to do pretty well.
Yeah,
Even though, like for hardcore MMA guys, it's a lot of old, like people say dinosaurs, they're old guys. Hey, but those are the people that the common fan, that the guy that
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
train,
yeah.
that he knows about and has
Yeah.
heard.
Have you
know
ever
what I mean?
Have you ever been to a bell? I don't know. I know you have. Ever
Oh,
been
yeah,
to
I have.
And meet like the legends? Oh my God, dude, it's packed. People come from all over.
It reminds me of the old WEC days when you could be walking around the crowd and
Oh,
run into guys
man.
like Randy and
And you guys
Chuck
are all
and these
happy to
different
take
guys.
pictures with you. Hey, what's going on? Like
Yeah.
everybody, you know.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Bellator. What about King of the Cage, man? I still see them on TV, but are they still running a strong show?
Yeah, they're running. They're shoot all over the
Do
country.
you go to those
man.
anymore?
I've been to a few of them and always get invited to them, but
Is it still Ted running it?
No,
Terry?
not
No?
Terry, but there's other promoters. I mean, we got Carlos Rivera out in Chino area, Ontario area, that puts on King of the Cage.
Now,
I talked frequently
King of the
to
Cage,
him.
they were responsible for putting out, numerous
They
guys.
were kind of like the foundation back
Yeah,
in the
are they
day.
still putting out guys like that? Because, they put out a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
guys.
they got a lot of guys that have been picked up. A lot of women fighters have been picked up that fight in the UFC now. And then Carlos over there, and then there's a few different promoters here in California, but they all have like regions. Like Al, he's still handling Northern California.
Does Al work for King of the Cage?
Yeah, he
Okay.
has a casino over there. Also, I believe it's in he also does Oregon or something like that too.
Crazy.
Like that too. Plus, he's also part of a promotion, fighters development in Vegas. That's just going to be starting up.
He's all over the place.
End of this year, yeah.
Sounds like
So
old
there-
school wrestling.
Yeah, so if there's
Regional
any
promotions.
actually they're going to be doing it at the Rio.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
Wow.
he said if you got fighters, let
That'd
me
be
know.
sweet.
He's the director of fighter development for this company.
And that's a professional
Yeah,
event?
professional. Yeah, professional. So we like to get. We've already got some interest of some fighters here that are should want to go over there too. So, and then they're also going to do boxing, and also going to do kickboxing.
Nice.
Professional. So there's a lot. And
Are they
they're
going to
big.
do the type of show where they're mixing in the kickboxing with the MMA?
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
right now.
I like that. What do you guys think about that? Having
I
the
dug it.
kickboxing ring?
I like the blend.
I think it's good for the
interesting.
crowd, huh?
Yeah, I've never been to
It
one
keeps
like
it-
that.
you
No,
It's
I haven't
different.
either. What do they do? Is it two different rings in
Yes.
the deal?
Yeah,
or-
yeah, yeah.
Lower
they
rings
have
side
two
by
rings.
side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they have one for kickboxing and one for MMA.
Oh, yeah. So if they get a little boring grappling match, they can just bring out a couple kickboxers.
Yep.
Joe Schilling. And
Yeah, because
Let
what's
everyone
it you
else
call
out.
it? Fernando Gonzalez. fought Paul Daly in kickboxing.
Fernando Gonzalez that I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he fought.
He still
Daly.
fights?
Yeah, he still fights. He was a
Wow.
Bellator. They just
That kid had some hands on
they
him.
just let him go, and he signed with another promotion. But anyways, yeah, he fought. He wanted to fight Daly as MMA, but they would never sign that.
No? Did he do okay against him on the feet?
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah.
Since Daly's primarily a kickboxer,
Right.
But Fernando,
He's got the
does
hands
ground
on.
and all that stuff too. So, but that was good. That was a good deal. There's some fights Fernando won, but he was fighting over there, and basically the judges, just like when he fight that Michael Venom Page or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
All that guy did was run, and they gave him the fight.
Yeah.
And Fernando was pressing him the whole
Right,
thing.
right.
So he's like,
What are you gonna do,
What can I do if the guy don't want to fight? And then when they did engage, Fernando was getting the best on him. So,
Yeah, he's a scrapper. How old is he now? I wonder. He's got to be getting up there.
Yeah, I think he's like 32 now or something like that. Yeah, because when he was fighting here at Tachi,
Oh, yeah.
and we put him
He was
against,
surprising people.
put him against Alex Stiebling.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Stiebling won Pride and came here. So they put Fernando, and at the time I think he was like 20. And then he fought Stiebling, knocked him out twice before he hit the ground.
He did, huh?
Yeah, and then what's his name? McKenzie called him out. And he said, "You've been after me for so long, talking a lot of shit, sign the contract. Do it tonight." And McKenzie ended up getting busted for something later, so that fight never happened.
Crazy
But it was
WEC
crazy
days.
back those days back then, man.
Yeah, I
We had
miss
a lot
those.
of-
I miss those days, man. The old Tachi Palace days. What do they got coming up next?
August will be another prospect card of the amateurs.
I like that. The
I
contract
like that. I
cards.
think that's a great concept for them since they already have Tachi Palace fights. It's just a way to get.
You get the kids on the
get more
upside of
people
their
into it,
amateur, which is
Yeah.
awesome. And
I know.
then-
What do you think about these kids? I always get on to my guys out there, some of the kids that I coach, and some of these guys got like 11 and 12, 15 AMI fights. You know what I mean? They're not getting paid. Do you think that's a little much? How many fights do you think a guy should have before he bumps up to pro?
Yeah, I think maybe, 5, maybe minimum 5, max probably 10. Then you should know. But what I'm thinking is there things that you think Camo could implement to help permit, for these kids to learn, so prepare themselves a little better when they transition to a pro? I mean, maybe implementing elbows.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you seen a kid, no matter how good he is an amateur, just running the table
Yeah.
as an amateur, goes in their first MMA bout pro and gets to the ground and gets
That's a whole
taken out
different
by
deal.
that elbow.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they're
it's a whole different
overwhelmed.
deal.
And a lot of times you don't see that kid back again, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
They could be on a tear. I've seen it happen. They'll be on a
Anthony Torres.
Yeah, 11 fight win streak, and then go in there and
Yeah.
everything turns around.
Yeah.
I would have to say the same. 5 fights, I think max. Or minimum 10 fights max. Because what are you really getting out of it after you do so many fights?
Yeah.
You've learned pretty much what you're supposed to be doing as a professional
You build
fighter.
your fan base already.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got the fan base.
You already have a fan base because you have the guys at your gym that support you and train with you every day. You have your family. Most families are pretty supportive of it.
Yeah.
And so they'll buy tickets and go. But then after that, you're either going to fight professionally or not, and that's kind of you need to kind of push them out the door.
Yeah,
Instead of,
plus in the
"Oh,
beginning-
just fight
Right.
Andy the whole time for your career. No, you need to move on.
Plus, in the beginning, like you have you have like an extra spark in the beginning. Like those first few fights, like you have something that you kind of lose along the way. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Fear
The
or
excitement.
adrenaline, the excitement of the new
That's what
thing.
it seems like.
Yeah, and then they go through all these AMI fights, and I kind of feel it kind of diminishes, and then I don't know, you get back.
Yeah,
in
you
there and
become in the comfort zone. Just like if someone's running a business, and I'm going to make this much this year. This is what our plan is for this year to make this much, and then you end up doing it for 5 years the same. You get into a comfort zone, So all of a sudden you get overwhelmed with orders, and you can't maintain it, and you end up losing your business. I think it's like that too. You always, I think. Just on the competitive side, you always have to gauge yourself to see where you're at. And if you don't, then I don't care how good you are at that level, once you get up to that next level, you're never gonna never crossed that one road that's you're gonna learn from.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna need to have some kind of adversity to set you back a little bit to want to learn more. Because I see a lot of these fighters that they're amateurs. I don't go, like I said, I don't go to the gym as much as I used to at the beginning. And you'd see these guys putting in a lot of work, and they train, man. I mean, the eye of the
Oh,
tiger.
yeah, they're training hard.
You could see them.
They're
Now you
training
see
just
them-
like the pros are training,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Now you go in there, and I mean, yeah, it's good to be comfortable in the gym. You're joking, radio's blazing, doing all that stuff, but you don't see that kind of stuff that much anymore. You know, everybody's mostly joking or teasing or
You're right, man. It's
doing whatever,
and it's more,
have maybe 10 minutes of actual training where they're sweating, and the rest of the time they're
it's
BS.
more like what you'd see in a basketball gym for practice or
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean?
You
The
know,
mellowness
it's not
of it,
like
you're
that.
right.
And I can't say I'm not there the whole time, and,
Right.
and you know, obviously,
And not everybody's like that.
yeah, not everybody's like that, but from what I've seen, it's like, man, you know, and then, because a lot of times, like last year, I would go to a beginning of a camp where somebody I think is going to be like a prospect
Yeah,
coming up,
yeah.
and they say they transition to their first pro fight, and I want to follow this guy and see if my hunch, you know, that's
What have you seen, Chris? Because I know you've seen numerous guys. You've been in all these different gyms. What is it that stands out to you when you go up? Like, I know this guy. I can tell this guy's going to make it. He's got something.
Obviously the way they train, they're basically how they are, you know, outside. I look, okay, if I'm a guy, because in the past I've like sponsored, you know, people and stuff like that, and the way I look at it is like, if I'm going to make an investment, if someone's going to use my name, you know, to probably represent me, and I bust my ass to have a good reputation. So I figure if that product identity is going to get out there, what quality of this kid going to give back to me? How does he handle himself? Is he a kid that goes in the gym and works half-ass? Is he up every morning making sure he goes to the gym? How does he eat? He just go and eat any shit? Oh, I'll lose my weight like 2 weeks before or a week before, you know, stuff like that. A lot of that I take into mind. And then I'm one that like to gamble.
Yeah.
And even though the guy comes highly known, and this guy's got a badass reputation, you know what? I welcome that challenge. I'll put money on it because I look at him and I look at his habits and I look at what it takes. You're only as good as the tools you have to work with, man. And if you don't sharpen those tools,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
give a
true.
shit. Your natural abilities are going to take you so far. Why? Because I've managed guys like that shouldn't even be here anymore, but because they got that peace of mind and got comfort zone, and they thought, I don't need to do any more than that, and they're still here.
Just chilling.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to
The
decide
same
if that's
shit.
what you want to do, or you're just going through the motions so you could say that you did it. Because you're risking your life, man, if you're not serious in this game.
Are you seeing anybody out there right now, like in the 559, that might, or even in Tachi, that you think might make it up to the UFC or Bellator?
There's a lot of guys coming in, like the Tachi and some that are there right now, but in some that have had like setbacks. I won't mention any names, but it's like they're regrouping, retraining. Cass Williams came in hungry, taking guys out left and
Yeah.
right.
He was fierce when he first came out.
He didn't make it. He never got signed with UFC.
No,
No.
he
I figured
came
he
in
would.
and they groomed him to be the next 145
man.
champ.
He was tearing it
Okay,
up.
he was tearing up, and then the kid that Brian Correa from Porterville beat
Yeah.
him. Came
Yeah.
in, beat him. This guy
Porterville
came.
boys are tough.
Yeah, he came in out of.
Can't overlook them.
No, he came in out of the pit. I mean, was trained by Antonio Benuelos
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys. Yeah, all these guys coming in, and he was going through a tear. You know, the karate style kid, knocking guys out and all that stuff. Well, he had that setback. He left, and then they sent him out to where Alex Perez is training. with-
Oyama.
Yeah, Oyama's.
Oh,
He
yeah,
went out
Colin
training
Oyama.
out there. Then he came back, had a good fight. So then the next fight, they brought him back, fought him against the outlaw, Sergio Quinones, and Sergio put him to sleep.
Yep.
And he hasn't been back
wrapped
since.
him up,
He hasn't been back
took him
since.
to the ground and
Yeah.
grappled him.
Sergio did, huh?
Yeah.
He choked him out?
Choked him
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
man.
wow.
So we left him there like he left Darren Crisp. I love you, Darren. I'm not. over there, Gladiator Challenges, got up.
We love you, Darren Chris.
Walked away, and he was asleep on the mat.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
It does. But, and I hadn't seen him back. So, and that guy was the one.
He's young, though, so he's
he's young.
He still
is
has
young.
that time to really build. And I hope he comes back soon because
he was good to watch. He was
fun to
excited.
watch.
You didn't know what was going to happen. And, any time the fight could have been stopped, that quick.
Yeah.
He's one of those type fighters. And
Not
that's what
everybody
they
can.
need.
Not everybody can handle the loss, though.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what
and
I mean?
that's because it's been a while last year, so.
Yeah, some people
maybe
can
you'll
fall
be
off
here in
with that
November or whatever. I have no idea who's going to be on that card, but maybe he'll be back in November.
Do you know when Tachi's going to do a pro card?
November.
That's their next pro card?
Yeah. November.
So Tachi's going to be doing a lot of these Emmy cards now, or what?
They're going to do that. I think try this format for a little while, and it's going to be on a Friday. They're moving it to Friday, so that's going to help out a lot too. I know they sell out a lot of the rooms anyways during the fights and all that, but I think for getting people out of town and making a weekend out of it and keeping the casino fed. Plus, they're doing other additions to the casino too, making a lot of investment. Yeah, that thing is going to be awesome. So they're putting their money in, they're investing, and keeping like a one-stop amusement place, man. And I can't. I mean,
and they got that Friday night buffet.
Yeah.
Oh man, with the crab legs and all.
Yeah. So a lot of things are happening in Lemoore, man.
Now, talking about local promotions, are we ever going to see the Warriors Cage again?
The last thing I heard, but just like anything, I just take it, that was then, this is now. I haven't heard anything right now, and I know that Lauren was contemplating about doing an amateur deal up there. He's already talked to them. They said that he can use that facility to do that, but it's, it was.
What happened with that? With the Warriors Cage, it just fell off or what?
Yeah, they just didn't want to do it no more. They weren't making any money, and it happens. It's the economy, man.
Ted kept that going up there. Ted with the Gladiators Challenge. Hey man, how crazy some fights did we see up there?
Oh
wow.
My God, dude.
Good Lord.
And see, those. I mean, it was we had Tachi, and then we had, them.
That was the practicing grounds right
back
there.
And forth, and it even got so much drama between
man,
the promoters.
yeah.
The promoters side, but we were trying to get a fight between both of them.
Do you remember that fight? Hey, do you remember that fight when I think it was Dustin Arden and it was a guy named Smitty from Pacific Martial Arts, and they were literally just on their knees.
Yeah.
They were on their knees. Were you out there? Oh, hey, it was a crazy brawl, and they were literally so tired. They were both just on their knees going at it. It was classic.
They had some wars, man. I mean, we could say whatever, about over there, about Eagle Mountain. They're good people. They always take care of me.
Oh yeah, they're really good people.
And even way after that, doing their own thing. So, but they always had good fights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the marketing thing wasn't the best at that time.
You didn't know what you were
getting into. But the inner circle would tell you, and they would sell out. And you'd go there, and they might have like 20 fights.
Dude, you go to weigh in, it would be a bathroom scale.
Go in there.
Oh man, dude.
You get a fight in the main event.
There was literally tarps for the warm up, for the walls of the warm up rooms in the back. Yeah, some bologna sandwiches and some Cheetos.
Yeah, they give you a sack lunch. I remember.
You got that road camp sack lunch. Some hot sandwiches.
Everybody had the trots. Where's the bathroom?
You're taking a gamble eating one of those sandwiches.
But those are classic times, man, and it was the hottest time of the year too, man. You're out there,
brutal.
People were devoted. They'd go out there and they would show up,
and the fans were devoted too. Because that was a long drive to get up there to see those fights.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever went there. Jeff Sherwood, 'cause I was doing stuff with him, and we would go to all these shows, man. We'd be up north at a show, and
sure, dog, he's loyal.
He called me. He goes, "Hey, you gonna go to Saboba?" And I said, "Yeah, I was thinking about you. Oh, we just got done covering Calusa." He goes, "Why don't you?" I go, "I'm going through Tulare right now." And he goes, "Oh, why don't you come to my house?" I go, "Lemoore?" He goes, "Yeah, and then I'll drive from here." So I'd stop, turn around, go to Lemoore, then I'd jump in the car with him. And then we'd go to Saboba. I said, "Hey, if you want to stay," Ted said he'll get a room, man, for free. No, if I want to drive back home.
Oh man.
So we would do the turnaround. I mean, we would do, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the first time I went to Porterville for a Warriors Cage fight, I was like, why do I feel like something bad is about to happen to me out here?
Serious.
Or
Serious.
Deliverance music playing suddenly.
Yeah, and for a fighter, when you were fighting up there, like you would literally never knew what you were getting into. I don't know how many times like we'd have a guy, or even myself, like you thought you were going to be fighting a certain guy,
Yeah.
and all the way up until the day of, and then just surprise, here's a guy from Hawaii. The guy from Cutler's not going to be able to make it, but we got this guy from Hawaii.
The 808.
Yeah, got this guy from Hawaii that's willing to fight you.
All right, let's hold it there. Let's pay some bills. We're going to take our first break. Shout out to Klepler Digital Media and Spike and Rail here. We'll be back right after this. All right.
So you're going to have Corey calling in right now, or what?
At 7, yeah, he should be calling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a good time to break, just gotta call him, come in, and,
Welcome back to HammerFist podcast here at MMA Fight Pass. I'm here with Tom Owens and Brother James here, man. We're chopping it up, talking about promotions, different things that we like to see, and hopefully you get more local promotions. There is not actually local, but there's a lot of promotions going up and down our state here, man. Los Angeles, there's like every week
Just about.
there's an
seems like.
MMA deal, and then up north,
There's every
same
week.
thing too.
There's multiple going on right now.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Besides 559 amateur fights, 'cause that one sticks out to me first. What are some other AMI shows that are big that a guy can get into?
Yeah, the 219 beatdown in Stockton.
Oh,
Guys
okay.
out there, good people. Our producer Archie and the producer Manuel, they went to one of them out there, and it was a good show. I didn't get a chance to go, but I heard good things. They're good people, man.
Now,
guys-
are all these amateur promoters? Are they kind of all sticking with the same rules for the fighters?
Yeah, they have to.
They're getting them used
Yeah,
to.
yeah. They have to because it's California. Camo is all under camo like that too. But there's another one up there, I believe, in Fairfield. They have the Panda Cup coming up, I believe. But they're also going to have kids fighting,
Oh,
and
no.
it's like a pancration.
Yeah,
Pancration, and then
you're gonna see all those
yeah, they're going to have pancration fights there.
daddy coaches out there,
Yeah.
super coach,
Yeah.
super dads.
So I've never been to anything like that, but I know there's a lot of
It's
local-
crazy seeing kids
local
grow out there doing
schools
it.
around here that go for the kickboxing for the kids, like that. It's kind of like
I don't know if I'd want my kid getting punched in the head that young. You know what I mean?
they have all like the headgear.
Yeah,
and-
they wear the.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being
protective gear, but
in a karate tournament where the point type, but they actually follow through punches and stuff like that too. But yeah, there's some out there. The fights out here in Bakersfield that was supposed to take place last week kind of postponed and pushed back for 30 days.
Oh, really?
Fighters weren't able, on the main card, the pro fighters didn't have in their medicals in time.
Oh, man.
When you're part of CSEC, you're required a certain period to have them in. So my understanding, they pushed it 30 days out, and then they'll have that fight card. But Phil, he said he'll keep us updated on the card. So I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, man, what else? What about the grappling circuit, man? You follow that pretty frequently.
Yeah, the grappling circuit's crazy right now. The local scene is crazy for the jiu-jitsu right now. There's just all these different schools. But yeah, this last weekend they had the Dream Kids Jiu-Jitsu Championship. You guys know about that?
I've seen a little bit about it, but I know there was one of the local schools here had a lot of kids repping out there and did actually.
Yeah, a few of the schools went out there, but it's a big tournament where you got all these top schools, putting their kids in there. Gracie, Baja, you name it, all the top schools are there. But yeah, Elite from Visalia, California, Elite team, and then you also got Elite team in Lemoore now.
Yeah.
They had their kids down there, and it goes by points, and I believe I wrote it down. Yeah, they got 93 points. They got first place, which is
Dang.
really amazing for a Central Valley school. To go down there to a big tournament like this where you got all these top Gracie schools competing.
Where was it, Southern California?
Yeah, I was in Southern California, and the second, for instance, the second place was Gracie South Bay. They had 49 points, so you had Elite with 93 points,
Wow,
and the
that's a
second
gap.
place was 49. Yeah, And then Gracie Baja, which is one of the top, if you know anything about jiu-jitsu competition, like they're one of the top schools out there usually when it comes to team points. And they're usually the ones getting first place. But yeah, it's props to elite team. And all the other local schools did well too. Halo Jiu-Jitsu, they had guys competing. Vitruvian with Mark Tellecruz and Dan Camarillo, they had students do really well. But it is really something else, man. There's just so much jiu-jitsu now around here. Like literally on every corner you can get some jiu-jitsu. Compared to back in the day where you had to travel, you know what I mean? You really had to travel to get it. So yeah. And then we also had Angel Lopez. He's the black belt instructor for Halo. I think he fights MMA as well. Didn't he beat Anthony?
I think, I think he only fought once.
Okay, well he
did have a win.
He just fought in the what is it called? It's another jiu-jitsu series called F2W Pro Jiu-Jitsu, and he did a super fight against a guy named Gumby. I don't know if you guys are in the jiu-jitsu world. He's a black belt under Ralph Gracie, but he's a guy that's been around for a long time. And,
I've heard that name.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. Like he's a legit dude. And and Angel got him. He choked him and beat him in that fight. So yeah,
that's awesome. Props
to Angel Lopez on that. We want to get him on the podcast here pretty soon. Yeah, he's a really unique dude, and he's got a small little school out there. I think it's in Dinuba, the Halo Jiu-Jitsu. But I haven't been there, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. But
he's been there for a little bit, and then trains under Speedy or something, isn't he?
Yep, he's under Speedy and Chingina. And then we got Corey Cass. This guy, he lives all the way down there in Temecula, and he, just for the love of jiu-jitsu and the sport and the love of the valley, he always brings his tournament back over here. You know what I mean? The Grappling X. And he's got that tournament coming up, and I believe we got Corey calling in hopefully here.
Yeah, hopefully pretty soon. We're waiting for him unless he took a nap.
Yeah, he might have fell asleep on us. But yeah, Corey is for any of you that don't know Corey, he came, I don't know, he was like a traveling samurai back in the day. I don't even know what he was doing in the area, but he just walked into our gym one day and out of nowhere, and to Djibouti. And he was one of the first guys that I had met that had actually had MMA experience, and he was currently fighting. And
he used to go to Mexico and fight. That
kid, he was going all over.
You'd always see, every time I seen that kid at a fight, and this was before I really got to know him and close, he always had his bag right there, always waiting for someone to fall out. I'll take that fight.
He would just show up to shows and fight like that.
Yeah,
he's
awesome.
And he had a record that wasn't that good back then. Like he probably had more losses than wins, but he was one of those guys that, he would fight anybody.
Yeah,
like he fought Joe Stevenson. He fought a lot of top dudes.
Yeah.
And Corey had a huge impact in the MMA scene around here with our guys like Doug Marshall and all the guys that were in Djibouti. Because when Corey came, he had that cage experience and he had trained with several people. You know what I mean? Chris Brennan, Javier Vasquez, just several different people. And props to Corey. And when he does this Grappling X coming up, it's going to be something else because we got all these schools. You know what I mean? We got all these local schools going at it.
I think they come twice a year or something like that too. But yeah,
he's still on a show. I'm not sure every weekend.
Yeah, but he's
right?
either Elk Grove, San Diego, because he's closer to that area. But he's back. He had a little setback because he had a robbery and lost a lot of equipment. But
wasn't that here in our area? Unfortunately,
I'm not certain.
Didn't that happen in Fresno? I think it did, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, we're out through the community, and then him, he's a hard worker. He's always getting after it, man. He persevered, and he's back on it, man, and he's refocused. And if you do have a gym and say that you want to get it put together, and you're, say, primarily jiu-jitsu, he could put together a seamless mat, or if you want a cage built, he could put a boltless cage together.
And we're not talking just any old, any old rickety cage.
You're going to pay a little bit of money, but you're going to get a premier. There's top promotions all over the country that use his cage or a body.
And the mats are beautiful that he's doing.
Yeah, seamless.
That seamless mat is great.
How many times you walk into a gym and see a seamless mat?
Or how many times if you roll in jiu-jitsu and you know this, like the toenails get caught in the cracks? Oh boy, yeah, that seamless mat is nice. Yeah, he probably fell asleep on us.
He could have, man.
Hey, what do you guys think about this next fight coming up with the UFC? We got well, not to the fight night. Looks like it's a pretty decent card. We
This
got-
week, this Saturday?
Yeah, with Cowboy Cerrone, he's
Yeah.
fighting. Who is it? Edwards.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about that guy.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, you got a favorite Cowboy, but at the same time, I don't know. Cowboy, I mean, he could, any given night, he could take you out.
If he's been training,
Yeah, if he's
like
been
a focused
training.
cowboy.
But everywhere you see him, he's out there doing his thing, man.
Yeah, he's
Whether
he's a
jet
lover of
skiing
life.
or
Just
whatever. He
hanging out,
just, like you
having a
said,
good
you only
time.
live one type of guy, you know?
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to though is DC and Stipe.
Yeah, that's coming up the
that's gonna be
7th.
awesome.
That's going to be a
That's
good. Hey, that whole
international-
card is good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That whole
International
card is
Fight
good
Week
right
in Las
there.
Vegas. Anybody
Max
get a chance
Holloway
to
and
go?
Ortega.
Oh,
That's on the same
Ortega.
night, right?
Ortega all the way, man. Like
You got
I'm
Ortega
sold-
on that
I'm
one?
Sold on that guy.
Dang, dude,
Yeah.
Ortega's something else.
He's
I like Max
really
Holloway
is.
a lot though too, man.
that's going to be a good fight if it lives
But
up
you
to the
know,
billing.
Ortega you just make one mistake with him,
And he's on it.
Yeah, he's on it, dude. And then you also got Francis Ngannou fighting Derek Lewis on that
They're
card.
2 knockout guys, monsters.
Yeah, that's going to be a
That
good one right
should-
there.
It should be a slugfest. Hopefully it is, because Ngannou, didn't he?
He just had that boring fight
Yeah.
with Stipe.
Yeah,
But
so
I mean,
if he
after
comes out and hopefully he learned from that loss.
He's going to have a fight basically like with himself. 'Cause
Yeah.
both of them
Yeah,
don't,
they're
really
both
don't have no
sluggers.
ground
he changed it up and went and moved around to some
to
legitimate
work
camps.
some ground.
Yeah, so I'm sure he'll probably come back a little bit better. But Derek Lewis, he just gets right in the pocket and goes for it.
If he can maintain his cardio and not shoot as wide.
Yeah.
Oh,
First
it'll be
round.
good then. It'll be
Derek
strong.
Lewis, man, he's hilarious, dude. I swear that guy, if he doesn't make it in a fight, like he could probably go into some movies or something, dude. He's funny, man. If you follow him on Instagram, like he's funny, dude. But yeah, and then other big talk is Lesnar and John Jones. So I mean, that's a dream fight if it happens. What do you think about that? Who do you think would take that?
John
Honestly.
Jones.
Yeah,
got money on John
I
Jones
think
on that
John
one?
Jones.
Because John Jones is more versatile everywhere, whereas Lesnar
He's quick.
is okay striking, but he's
What if
known for
Lesnar
his
got him
wrestling.
like
If he
down?
got a hold
got
of
him
him.
down though. Got him down on his back. Even then, though, Jones would pull something
it
out.
almost goes back to old school UFC where you have the big guy versus the little guy. Even though John Jones isn't really little at how tall he is,
Yeah.
he can still maneuver his way, and I think he'd be able to smoke him.
And he'd take him out with an
Yeah,
elbow.
I think you're right. I think
Set
you
him
would beat him anywhere in that fight. What's going on with the Diaz brothers? That's who I want to see back in there
Well,
too.
Nate just had a kid.
Oh,
You
really?
better start fighting soon then. Kids,
I know, he's some
kids aren't cheap.
spoiler. He's
Kids
supposed to
aren't
be.
cheap.
Yeah, he's supposed to be having a fight that was just signed.
What about Nick Diaz? That's what I want to see. He's not. I mean, how old is Nick Diaz? How old is he now? He's got to be getting up there, right?
Yeah,
Is he still on UFC contract?
yeah. he's
Yeah, I
on.
imagine so.
I thought they were trying to negotiate some kind of contract with him, bringing him back. Now that his suspension is
I think that's
almost
what
over.
the UFC. If they bring some of those guys, get some of them back in the mix. You know what I mean? They need the names. They're lacking the names right now for that.
I like to see Chad Mendes. when
Oh
he comes
yeah,
back.
that'd be great.
That's someone that,
fight anybody.
yeah.
That just takes them. That's the thing with the UFC right now. You have these top names, but some of them aren't fighting, and so that's where they really need to develop the younger guys that
To
they just
come
brought
in,
in.
seeing that helps out, like with T-City coming in, and
Mhm.
you know those fighters that taking that glory and becoming someone active and with a good personality. That's what people want to see now. Don't talk shit. He just goes in there and
Well, but look at
That's his
Kobe
thing.
Covington, who seemed like a kind of average fighter, and then started pulling
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
I kind of turned around
is
my
now a
thoughts on him.
champ.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the trash talk, but even though I will tune in because I don't know, I
Makes
find
it
myself.
exciting.
It is exciting, man. You know what I mean? Like I would never trash talk anyone like that, but I do find myself tuning in, and man, he went in there and. I'm a fan of him after seeing him fight like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I
that
honestly
makes a
thought
difference when they could do that. When they do that stuff, you're going, God, I hope that guy.
because if he'd have just went in there and got beaten bad, then it would, everybody would just that's what happens.
Yeah.
But he went in there and looked pretty good. Honestly, looked pretty good.
Mike Perry.
Yeah,
He
Mike
was
Perry's
one that
something
talked
else.
a lot of shit, and then what happened? Max went in.
Mike
there.
Perry might actually really be that way in real life, though. You know what I mean?
I don't know, like he's stoned.
Something, or yeah, street life,
Yeah.
thug life. Maybe he's got the face tattoo. You know what I mean? Got that eye tattoo. What else we got coming up, dude?
All right, this is something I'll throw out there. We got a list here of pound for pound fighters, top 10 fighters. You guys have, every guys have in there. How would you change that around? See your list of your top 10s right here?
Okay. Got this list right here.
Yeah. How would you change, how, is there anything?
Okay,
you'd
so
do
what we got
different?
right here is A through J, and on the top it's Demetrius Johnson, then Stipe Miocic, then we got George St. Pierre, Conor McGregor, Daniel Cormier, Max Holloway, TJ Dillashaw, Tyrone Woodley, Khabib, and Chris Cyborg. Okay, well, John Jones isn't in there. Out for one, I would throw him if he could be mixed in there. Oh man.
I'd still say Demetrius is number one. That
Yeah,
just cleared
I think
out
it's
the division.
it's a mix up between Demetrius and George St. Pierre for me, like pound for pound, but not George St. Pierre in the last fight. But
yeah, because he's been inactive.
yeah, are we talking about like right now or all time, all the
matter.
fights?
Doesn't
Demetrius Johnson is really something else, man.
I'd have to put Chris Cyborg pretty high up there too.
I would
because
put her
she's
versus Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
and
she's
if
a
we could make
murderer,
that
man.
super fight, I'd put $1,000 on Cyborg to knock out McGregor. If they could
Yeah, I
fight.
think you're right about
If they
that.
could sanction that
That would be
fight,
awesome.
the Billie Jean and
What about Daniel Cormier? As
If-
far as pound for pound,
If Cormier's good, it's just if he could ever overcome beating, like if he could ever beat John Jones.
I know he's got
Yeah,
That would
that's
really
his only
that
crutch.
would cement his career as one of
Yeah,
the, as one of the greats.
his legacy. He's going to have one, but he does that. That's just going to be. I think a lot of it's mental.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about all-time? For me, when I think of all-time greats like that I've ever seen in MMA, I think Randy Couture is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
definitely one
do
of my
agree with that.
definitely one of my favorites for what he did with the. Just I don't know. He was a big part of the evolution
Oh yeah.
of it, a huge
I
part
mean,
of
he
it.
got to a part where he was losing and he just turned everything around, man.
But if we're talking pound for pound right now, man, I'd have to honestly would have to put Khabib up there
Yeah.
at the top too. He'd have to be right up in there. And I think, man, a dream fight. It might be a boring fight, but I would still love to see it. Would be Khabib versus George St. Pierre.
I think it would be boring, but it would be a dream fight. It would be an
Man,
interesting
dude,
fight to see.
for a real MMA fan, don't you
Yeah.
think it would? What do you think would happen with that fight? I think Pierre would have better striking.
I think the wrestling.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He
the
might be-
wrestling
Wrestling would be
portion would be
strong for-
interesting.
yeah,
that would be interesting to see.
Well, it would be interesting if GSP probably would be able to stop his takedowns, Khabib's takedowns.
Yeah.
'Cause
He's good with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. What would be your dream fight, dude? If you could see any of them that are out there right now.
Could
It doesn't have to be weights.
Does it have to be like?
It doesn't have to be weight classes. Just
It-
close.
Does it have to be like current fighters right now or anything?
Current fighters right now.
oh man.
Current
fighters right now.
Uh,
If you could just pull any of them.
Not right now, but my dream fight that I had when I first started watching MMA was Quentin Jackson versus Tito Ortiz.
They never fought.
never
No,
fought.
never fought.
That would be a
I
good
always wanted, and with the trash talk, with the build-up that could have happened with that fight, man, that would have been amazing.
Quinn would have knocked him the fuck down.
No, that's fine. I
Oh, you just wanna see
I
it?
just wanted to see it.
Man, Tito Ortiz. Hey,
Early Tito Ortiz
God,
or
it's
Tito Ortiz
finally-
early.
Early
yeah.
Tito
I think
Ortiz.
he could have been
champ.
different. Yeah, because he was a strong wrestler.
Yeah.
Dude, he had something that still I don't think I've ever seen too many people that have had that good of ground and pound inside the guard. The
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
Hey
It's
man,
pretty brutal.
it was brutal, dude. What's up with our boy? Not gonna make it?
Nada, man. Probably breastfeeding his kid, baby.
Does he have a new baby or what?
Yeah, they have a new baby.
So what else? What's going on with the local life or family life or whatever? The car life, man.
Just
I always see
orders,
with these
collecting
badass
money,
cars
man.
every weekend, dude.
Just going to lunch.
Are those your
meetings.
cars or cars you're working
There's
on?
clients, yeah. They're
Yeah.
getting ready. You see me driving them, that's one that's ready to ship out. So I got a road test.
What was that last one? Look like an Impala?
No, it was which one?
It was
Today?
like this last weekend I seen it was a white
There
old
was
skull.
there was one. It was a 56 Chevy. Went out to a gentleman in Kentucky, Bowling Green.
So what do? You restore them?
Yeah,
So they'll send it to you like total.
like shit.
You do the whole.
We
You
come
just
in
do
here,
the whole thing.
Yeah, they come in here and then we put them on the schedule. We basically analyze everything, let them know, bring them in, and then basically we ask them what they want, and then we'll do
My dad,
a re-
he loves those cars. He's
a
just so
redi-
impressed every time he
a
sees you post
rendering
one.
of what the project is, and then they approve the rendering, and then we get after it and give an estimate, maybe 6 months, sometimes to a year, depending on how bad the body is.
What's
That
been your
usually-
favorite one to work on?
And there's a lot. I think a 32 Roadster we did for Pink.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Do these people enter those in competitions and stuff? or what?
A lot of personal, and they just, it's an investment, because that's liquid. That's not something that's never going to depreciate.
So you've always been into that, or what?
I did for myself, and then now it's like 27 years later. So I
Are you
guess,
still into the racing?
yeah, we do that.
It's drag racing?
Yeah, NHRA.
That's
We handle
crazy, man.
32 of the top field teams.
So do you go out to Vegas for that, or what?
I have a 22-man team. I developed part of the offset blower that they use.
That's crazy, dude.
So I got 22 guys that go out there. We do fuel management, clutch management, all kinds of stuff.
Man, you're all about that MMA life and that race life.
Yeah,
That's
that's my
crazy,
life,
dude.
man. I've always done it.
What do you,
when I was
so
a kid.
what, are you like half and half with the racing and the
I just,
MMA, or what?
these days, I don't do anything. I just go in there and make sure that the agreements are met.
The Wizard told me, though, you've been into that car thing for a long time.
Yeah,
So were you
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that, like that midget racing back in the day too, or what?
I didn't do it. My daughter did. I've
Oh,
always
okay.
drag raced. And then we raced boats like in the late 90s. Had a top fuel hydro that I actually raced and set the world record in,
So you
in
say
1999.
a 22-man team, that's what it takes to have one of those cars in a race? That's just
Well,
all-
that's not counting their team. That's counting my team. Because we have 32 teams in the pro class division, 16 on each side, funny car, and then 16 dragster. So we got a group of 22 guys that service. We have top 10 clients. Last year, we celebrated our 18th world championship as a manufacturer.
Wow.
You know, like
Have you ever done like speed boating?
Yeah,
Is that
I-
kind of the same deal?
drag boats? Yeah, I held the world record in 1999, fastest on water.
That's
I did,
crazy, dude.
Facing the dam.
You were driving?
Yeah, that was, and that year I wrecked, and my wife said, no more.
That was enough of
So
that.
the boat's still out, but I have someone else driving it.
That's
And
crazy,
that,
dude.
that year, we raced the IHBA, the International Hot Boat Association, and the first race of the season was in Red Bluff, up north in Northern California. And at that year, they had a bounty, the fastest top fuel boat and the fastest alcohol boat. I'm not talking about elapsed time, ET.
Yeah.
I'm talking about speed.
And
The
how far of a
fastest person
distance?
to break the record at 1,320 feet, quarter mile.
Oh, wow.
The fastest
Damn, a
to
quarter
break
mile.
the speed record facing the dam gets a $50,000 bounty. So if I do it and then you come right behind me and go fast, too bad, I did it before you.
Wow.
Don't matter. So that first week they had that, we did it. We set the national record, ET, the quickest and also the fastest. And the first time that we did it, the heads on the motor distorted, and they said that the timers were faulty. So they said it didn't count.
Oh, wow.
So at the time, Larry Bliss, who was one of our main primary sponsors, flew back to his shop in Visalia, California, and got more equipment that we needed. We came back, put the motor back together, made another pass, blew that record apart, and actually set the national record at a 488
That's crazy, dude.
at 1,320 feet at 247 miles an hour, facing the dam. Facing the dam. Plus, we won the event.
How crazy is
Yeah,
that
we
feeling,
won the
man?
bounty. Plus, check this out. We had the T-shirts that for the season, that people can buy, and we sold them all out at that first event.
bet,
Make
man.
60 grand in T-shirts.
Damn.
For one weekend.
Sorry to
it's never
sorry to
been
take us
done
off the
again.
MMA.
Never been done again. But yeah, but that's
cool
my
though, man.
my deal. And then they gave me the nickname Top.
Yeah, I just asked, 'cause
Top Fuel Dam.
I always see you posting these awesome cars on
Yeah,
there.
so, but yeah, that's when I do this, that's what I do. I do
That's
that.
cool, man. That's
So,
good.
but yeah, you got to have some kind of competition, and we did it out of love because that was my passion, and I mean my relationship got screwed up because I got too into my passion.
Yeah, that
So
can
I,
happen.
I learned a little bit, from that.
Learn how to
But-
juggle it?
Yeah, but
Or balance it out?
About at the same time, it helped kind of let me live the life that I'm used to, and my family and stuff like that too. So kind of the sacrifices you make, get a little ahead of yourself. But like when I was doing it way before I even got married, and I told my wife at the time, saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to continue to do that, because I had a sponsor, had my car, owned everything, and I was just a kid. I was still living at home. So when I moved up here from Southern California, I said, I'm going to continue to do that, but if I have to take money from my home that I make for a living to put it into what I do, then it's time to quit.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it a long time, man, and never had to do it. I always done real well and a little bit better. Like I said, I play to win.
Now, are you going to UFC events and stuff too with the MMA, or do you just stick around the local scene?
When we go sometimes, like this last 3 or 4 years, NHRA, because we go twice a year to Las Vegas, and now they do they have 4 lanes in Vegas. They just started this year. So you got 4 cars going down at one time.
Wow.
And at the time, we did a deal when they first opened the Las Vegas Experience.
Yeah.
Because we were working with a couple of guys, big Kevin Nash from the WWE. He was actually sponsored by Jerry Tolliver on the Rock car. It was sponsored by the WWE. And we were down there, and we were trying to get some of the guys from drag racing, because they were in the MMA, but they didn't want to buy it at the time. But now, of course, they come to the events. I see them and all that kind of stuff. So who knows in the future. But yeah, I've been to a lot of fights, especially now, because usually they're there the same weekend.
Nice.
We're there at the Rio or Monte Carlo, and they're staying, at the same thing. So a lot of times they run into it, and they go down there because they're fighting at night. And then we have functions going on where at ESPN, where they're displaying cars, or they'll go during the day to watch some of the qualifying and stuff like that too. So, and then they mix it up, exchange, and get invites and stuff.
You're a busy man, bro.
So it's kind of cool.
Now,
Plus,
going back to the dream fights, would you guys still watch Cyborg versus Ronda Rousey?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I think it would be brutal.
It would be brutal.
In
You think
fights
it'd be one-sided?
or MMA.
MMA.
Oh, in MMA? Yeah, it would be one-sided, man.
Well, who do you think then?
No, I would have to go with the Beast Cyborg.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with
Smart
that.
Money would
I
have to
agree
do
with
that. It's just because she's so strong. I can't say because of Rousey got a hold her. No, it's
Cyborg is she's a black belt too.
Yeah, she is.
In
Plus,
jiu-jitsu.
she's strong, and Rousey, even though her technique and all that stuff, she's a woman. She's more feminine, I would say, and she don't have that strength. You can't match that strength.
And some people can take the getting punched in the face, and some can't.
Yeah.
Like nothing against her, because Ronda Rousey, I'm a huge fan of her. I'll always love Ronda Rousey for what she did.
Oh,
You know what I
hell
mean?
yeah. You
I
have
could
to.
never put her down or anything.
Huge
in any ways like
respect,
that.
man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like Cyborg, you can just tell she doesn't mind getting hit. You know what I mean?
Not only that,
she's
but
something different. Cyborg is really something
People
special.
always seem to forget that she retired Gina Carano.
Oh, that was brutal.
She knocked her out of
Yeah,
MMA
that was sad.
permanently.
I remember that fight.
I hate her.
I remember that fight like it was yesterday. Yeah.
I do miss
That was
Gina
my girl,
Carano
man.
too.
Yeah.
Gina was my girl. Yeah, she roughed her up bad.
But
That was not good.
and it's just a realistic thing. But anything on any day can happen. I mean, Siren go in there and fight out of emotion, and we all know when you fight in emotion, it's not that you're not.
I would love to see Cyborg fight. What's the other girl that's got the belt right now? The other Brazilian girl.
There's a boast.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I think Amanda Nunes actually will have a pretty good chance against her.
I think so too.
She's smart.
I think that'd be a better
Yeah,
fight.
she's really smart and has decent enough striking. I think, but it would at least be. It would probably be a brutal fight. 'Cause, you know what I mean? They're going to go at it. Are they the same weight or what?
No. One's
It's one-
45.
it's one-
45. One's 35.
Oh yeah, they can
But
do
not
it,
unless
though.
they go at a catch weight.
That's still, even if it's not for a title, even at catchweight would still be
That
interesting
drool, I
to
was
watch.
thinking about that fight. But no, it would be a good fight, but you know what? I don't think it'd go past 2 rounds.
Okay.
Because of but it'd be a brutal 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Because if both of them come to full tilt, because their training's probably going to be the best they've ever trained for anybody.
So check this out.
That'd be scary, dude.
Before we close it out, let's since we have this panel going, let's give our picks for these 3 fights. Okay, so for the Max Holloway versus Ortega, Francis and Derek, and Cormier and Stipe. Okay, so who do you got, James?
All
for
right,
Cormier, Cormier and Stipe, who do you got?
I like Cormier. I've always
Okay.
been a fan. I'll
Okay,
just
so you
go
got
fan
DC.
pick. Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, I
who
got to
you
go with the boy DC.
You got DC. I'm gonna go with Stipe on that one. Close
Not
enough.
by knockout.
What do you got? Who you got on?
I was gonna go.
Archie. You got. Wait, no, you count, bro.
Producer.
Our producer Archie. You got Stipe too. Okay. What about Max Holloway and Ortega?
Ortega.
You already said
Yeah,
Ortega,
Ortega.
T-City, man.
and you got Ortega too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Holloway on
I'm
that
gonna go
one.
against the grain. All
I'm gonna
right.
go against the grain. on
Oh,
that
and
one.
anybody looking for a TC shirt, Eddie at, if I say MMA, he's got them. They just hit the floor there. So get your TC shirt. A lot of people have been asking about them. He has them. They were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got them right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Visay MMA gear in the Sequoia Mall, guys. He's got all kinds of stuff in there. He's got all your MMA needs.
If you like
Gloves,
this shirt,
pads.
he hooked me up. Shout out to Eddie. Also tickets for the Rawhide. He's gonna be at the Rawhide Gate in Visalia tonight and tomorrow night.
Yep.
And he'll be selling his wares out there too. And he might have tickets still left for tomorrow, so you might go on Facebook, look him up, and he'll hook you up.
Yep, he'll hook you up. He's the best. Another shout out to our good sponsors here, guys, before we close this up. Spike and Rail. I'm enjoying a nice IPA tonight. Thought I'd have a nice, Friday night beer. I had the tri-tip sandwich. Knock your socks off with that. And then, what do they got? Like if you don't like meat, you know what
They
I
got a
mean?
vegan steak.
I'll tell you what they got.
I don't know.
They got Caesar salads. They got salmon on the salad. They got all kinds of stuff here, guys. But the people are really cool here. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
really cool here. It's friendly service. It feels good in here. It's a nice place. So
Nice
yeah,
air, man.
if you're cruising down the
Inside
99 and you're coming through Selma and you're hungry, this is a good spot to come. Good price too.
Definitely. Next week, join us. We'll be back our regular day on Wednesday. We're going to have Vitruvian's own Mark Dela Cruz in the house.
Yeah.
He's going to join us, and we're going to chop it up and talk about his new facility and programs he got going on. So check it out. Drop a line if there's something you'd like to hear. We appreciate everything you guys are listening and looking. And I know it's Friday. Most of the people are probably out eating and taking the time to check us out and tell a friend. Appreciate
Where can
it.
they go to if they don't catch it live to check it out?
MMAFightPass.com.
MMAFightPass.com, and you can see any of the.
YouTube, yeah.
Okay, it's on YouTube as well.
MMA Fight Pass. YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Right on, man. Well, hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank
Appreciate
you, Chris.
That's a wrap, guys. Enjoy your
Thank
Friday.
you, guys. Good deal, man.
All right.
Right, our bunker.
What do you got?